I think he's going to have to be if he wants to take down Medina. Medina's going to be feisty. He's been here before. He knows what he's got to do. Matty Wilco, on the other hand, well, he's the Jeep ratings leader, and he's feeling it today, that's for sure. Taking down John on the way to the final, as well as Ace. He's going to be tough to beat.
A lot of major wipeouts, tons of broken boards. Finals day. Now getting a little slingshot in, way out the back is Medina. Redirects, now setting up a gigantic double overhead section. He's stepping on the gas, flying. He's super deep. Will he make this thing? And it spits without him. Total commitment from the past Fiji champ. Water conditions.
Yeah, and he's getting better and better at it too. I mean, this is he's only young, what, 22 years of age. Just waiting for this thing to set up, stalling, a little bit of a fade turn. Now he starts to crouch, bend those knees, and now he sees that section build up, driving through that wave. Oh, that was a huge barrel right there. It did spit, so there was an exit, but Medina just a little bit too deep, maybe left his run a little late. As we can see the drone there, another fade right there. There's all these things come into play. And Medina, now he hits the gas and drives under that massive amount of water and doesn't find the exit, Joe.
Position a little bit further out the back and deeper on the reef. Medina wants it, but Wilco's allowed to take off if he wants to let him readjust here. Wilco will use priority on his way back out. Sets up a forehand whip. Good for one move and he's out.
Clearly, I mean, you got to be switched on all day. And it's been 3 days in a row. Matty Wilco, here he goes.
Locks in. Wilco setting up that layback hack under the lip. Another layback draw off the top. Chunky closeout section. He attacks it for the finish. Now what's been a low scoring final. No one getting barreled just yet. We'll see how much meaning that last wave has in terms of crowning a champion. There's a smaller wave for today, but still a gigantic wave when you look at it on the replay.
Yeah, taking this one off Medina. Matty Wilco just realizing that it's not going to barrel, so he's going to go to those combos. Nice couple of turns right there from Matty Wilco. And this one right here, surprisingly, finishing that one off there. I thought he was going to kick out of that, but deciding to go for it nonetheless.
It's been in the past room to make keep finals. So he'll do anything it takes to take this one out. Medina with priority was going to roll in. The setup work now pulling in, stalling for the barrel. Now starting to drive, this section's running away. Medina reappears down the line and now goes for the alley-oop, landing in the flats into a layback, and he will recover. What an impossible recovery as we turn around to see Wilco fighting through the tube. A huge section for Wilco, and he ends up going down. What a huge exchange. We'll bring you the whole wave of Wilkinson in just a moment.
Let's have a look at the wave behind. Matty Wilco took off on, and he drives through the barrel here. Nice wide open tube ride. Matty Wilco traveling, and gets swallowed up. Unfortunate right there for Matty Wilco. That could have been a massive score. Going down right there. That foam board just ate him up, Joe, and look at it. It stayed open for him. But unfortunately, Matty Wilco not being able to pull that one off. Gabriel Medina, on the other hand, off the bottom, fades nicely, jams at mid-face. Now he's in the tube, stalling, and now he hits the gas, realizing he's got to pick up the speed to come out of this one, which he does. And then the freak of nature goes up to the air and does that kind of stuff. I mean, that's just a nice little bit of a cherry on the top there for that ride. And Gabriel Medina is going to lock in the first real score, Joe.
So we look at the size of the conditions we have for this final. Medina rolls in.
Yeah, nice fading bottom turn and then just that mid-face check. Now he's using both those hands to stall, realizing he's deep enough. Now he's got to hit the gas. Perfect positioning. Crouches on the exit and then straight into this right here. Amazing stuff there from Gabriel Medina. And as I said before, Joe, that is going to be the first real score of the final.
Gabriel Medina working hard for a 7.33 and the lead against Matt Wilkinson before in the world, coming into finals day with the final 8. Now the final 2 decided. Medina locking into a hollow section, spitting behind him, and he's got a ton of room to beat another section. He'll hang on for the completion. What a dramatic finish for Gabriel Medina. Already had the 7.33 and the lead. And it took him a long time to find that 7. Combined total, that puts Wilkinson in a combination. Let's have another look.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's one of those waves with a lot of white water from that big set that rolled through, but Medina just positioning himself perfectly, keeping that high line through that end section right there. It wasn't one of those wide open tube rides, that's for sure. It was one of those real technical ones, real tricky ones where you had to sort of hit the gas, slow yourself down. Good score for Gabriel Medina.
Wilco needs an answer quickly. He's up, pulls in super deep. This section is stretching down the reef quickly without Matt Wilkinson.
You know, winds are good. Winds are definitely going to keep you in that right place, but you need to back winds up with solid results. Medina, look at the size of this wave here. Looks like an avalanche of white water behind him, just tucking in tight, nice and high, and then comes out that end section. Wasn't a clean exit, but I tell you what, for what's been going on in the finals, that was an amazing wave right there from Medina. 8.27.
With John Florence, little opportunity here. Wilco looks. Medina with priority is going to have a look. Gabriel looking for a score to better a 7.33. He's up and out. Now Wilco with priority. Break free of the combo. First, let's take a look at the final recap. Matt Wilkinson, world #1, wearing the Jeep yellow jersey, going to big turns for his 4.17.
Yeah, had a good start. You know, I thought you know, the waves like that were going to come into play, but not against this man here. I mean, Gabriel Medina, too good. He's all about the barrel, this kid, and look at the technique that he's got, slowing himself down, then putting the foot down on the gas and just driving through these incredibly tricky tube rides right here, and then this kind of stuff. I mean, there's no one else has been doing that, Joe. I mean, this entire event, Medina's been going to the air, hasn't really been rewarded, but this time round, 7.33. Then this one, a tricky tube ride as well, sliding himself down, and now he hits the gas again. Look at that water, it's all white, frothy, but Medina finding his way through that, creating an exit, an 8.27, and finds himself way out in front. Matty Wilco, 15.61 two-wave total required.
They'll celebrate with a big hug. Your 2016 Fiji Pro champion, Gabriel Medina.
Wow.
Gabby, 2016 Fiji Pro champion.
Already getting set out there. Strider, how's he feeling?
Gabby's looking pretty good to me. He's got his buddy Fletch coming in for the high five. Rip Curl team manager, pit boss, taking it down. Gabriel Medina, 2016 Fiji Pro champion, on your way through, looking good, up to #2 in the world.
Yeah, it feels amazing. I'm just stoked. Just want to thank God and my family. Yeah, that was a crazy week, you know. We've been waiting for these waves, and yeah, finally here, big. We got so many sets in the head, and it's all worth. We got some barrels. That was a sick event, and yeah, I'm just stoked. I'm so happy.
You seem like you have a lot of energy right now. You must be, you know, from winning the event, but while you're out there getting those waves on the head, there was a lot going on.
Yeah, I'm really tired right now, but I was saving energy for the final. I knew that was going to be a tough one. And Wilco has been surfing amazing since event 1, and yeah, I don't know who can stop this guy. He's third final in the year, and yeah, I'm really happy to make this final with him. He's a good friend of mine, and yeah, so happy.
You know, you have to, is it a mind game when you have to go back down into the pit after all those big sets are washing through, and you know you have to go take them on the head to get the one good one?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, who wants the good one has to take the big ones in the head, and everyone has been done that, and yeah, so happy, bro.
How about a couple words in Portuguese to all your fans?
Obrigado a todo mundo. Tamo junto. Obrigado minha mãe, minha família, minha namorada. E Fabão, me espera no poker, hein? Galera de Maresias, André, tamo junto. Diretoria, tamo junto.
Well, there you go. World title race back on for Gabriel Medina.
What an exciting showcase of talent from a superhero called Gabriel Medina, the first Brazilian world champ, with many more accolades coming his way. Now taking out his second Fiji Pro title, and now number 2 on the Jeep leaderboard. All of Brazil, all of his fans around the world, and the island of Namotu are starting to celebrate alongside his stepdad Charlie, where he dedicates a lot of his success to. Charlie even has a tattoo of the World Championship trophy on his arm. And now on the crew with Namotu to celebrate. Domination from that island in the last few seasons here at the Fiji Pro. And Medina did it in creative waves ever since that opening round of competition. Even though they weren't big numbers, that classic alley-oop finish is second to none on the inside corner over shish kebabs. A lot of hard work and dedication through some serious downtime. And now coming into finals day, taking out De Souza, taking out the greatest of all time, Kelly Slater, in the semifinals, and taking out world #1, Matt Wilkinson, to be the undisputed Fiji Pro champion. Now getting ready for the WSL post show. Ronnie Blakey, Ross Williams, Martin Potter, '89 world champ. What an epic showcase of talent we got to see out of Medina today on finals day, Ron.
Medina on fire out there, and look at the channel lighting up now, celebrating that victory, a big one for the Brazilian, who has kicked into gear just a little bit earlier than he did this time last year. Took him to J-Bay to really start to find his form again, but he's going to be so dangerous. Wilco's going to try and hold him off. Potts, he's going to be hard to stop for this world title.
He is, but you know, you look at Matty Wilco's form last year in J-Bay. I mean, it's one of his pet events, Ronnie. So I'm looking for big things from Matty Wilco. This is going to give him so much confidence. He silenced the critics. Everyone's sort of saying, you know, this man can only surf on his backhand. He's proved the world wrong. But what he's done is he's just built so much more confidence in himself moving forward. I think he's going to be going to J-Bay with a lot of confidence.
The one thing that we didn't really touch on too much, we saw a lot of great performances throughout the event, but the surfers were really tested today, Ross. The swell was a lot larger than what it looked, even though it was pristine.
Yeah, and it's what made that result from Matt Wilkinson so impressive. That being said, Gabriel Medina, amazing. He's had some of the best highlights, whether it was 2 foot, like barely head high, those crazy airs and alley-oops, to today where it was macking second reef cloud break. So such a well-rounded surfer. And that, you know, despite, you know, Matty Wilkinson's going to make everyone chase him for the rest of the year because he's got such a demanding lead with points. But Gabriel Medina, you know, he's going to be one of the favorites coming into Chopu, to lowers, to Europe. So he's going to be nipping at Matty's heels.
Definitely. He was up 9 spots after Rio, and he has jumped now into second position on the ratings, making up 2,000 points on Matt Wilkinson, that huge lead he had at the start of the year. But like you said, Matt's heading to one of his favourite events. But just a really grindy event for all the competitors here in Fiji. Yesterday the waves were firing, but everyone taking some pretty heavy wipeouts. It looked like that took its toll on John Florence and stalled his run through the contest.
You know, these guys are super fit, obviously, but you know, you don't understand how much energy you expend, especially during a hit situation. You know, you can surf out there for probably 3 or 4 hours and feel fine because you're relaxed, you're taking it easy. But in the heat of the moment, you're expending twice as much energy. Your adrenaline's pumping. You know, every single wave you're surfing at 110%. It's so easy to get tight, and then on top of that, you're getting caught inside by those 10, 12 footers that are coming through.
Did Kelly's decision to free surf yesterday afternoon, Ross, and take some heavy beatings maybe work against him on finals day?
It's tough to say. I don't think so. He didn't look gassed to me when he was surfing on his waves. You know, it was just all about kind of getting in the right rhythm with the ocean and being sneaky enough to, and even a little bit fortunate enough to find those medium-sized waves. Those were, you know, the waves that got you through heats today. Those medium waves that actually stayed hollow because, you know, the culprit today that made heats so difficult was those wash-throughs. What
about the Tabarua and Namotu rivalry? Tabarua got smoked in this event. It was a number of surfers staying on Namotu getting into the finals and 2 competing for the crown here.
Well, you know, hey, it's the way it goes, right? I mean, Kelly's won that many. I think Namotu's still catching up. Ronnie?
Yeah, everyone's still catching up.
They're catching up. Sure. They're catching up pretty quickly. But you know, if John had made it through his quarterfinal, and there would have been 2 from each island, but it wasn't to be. And you know, as you said, you know, we talked about Medina's performance through the early rounds. I mean, everyone was kind of a little bit overlooking him. I mean, everyone was going, Kelly, John, the swell's coming up. Those guys are going to be the ones there at the end of the day. They almost were, but Gabriel Medina flew under the radar and took it from everyone.
Barrel riding throwing down airs in huge conditions. Some of those airs weren't executed on small waves.
Yep.
Yeah, he went nuts on some of those alley-oops. Some of the biggest airs we've seen all year. Again, we talked about it earlier. I think that's what's so cool and fun to watch about Gabriel Medina's surfing. He has that perfect mix of talent and a feisty pit bull, constantly looking and hounding for waves. And then once he's on a wave, just kind of like maybe Italo Ferreira, he'll milk that thing into the dry rock.